Hey y'all, and welcome back to this episode where I'll be giving you a recap and my not so humble opinion of Love is Blind Season 4, Episode 3. If you enjoy this kind of content, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into why you really clicked on this video. So, this episode begins with Micah and Paul's big reveal. They meet and they're attracted to each other physically, so they're both relieved. They seem like they would have dated in real life if they saw each other. They really look like each other's types, and it hasn't been working for them so far, so I wonder how it's going to work in this experiment. Next up, we move on to Jacquelina, who is ready to be with Marshall, and she loves that he claimed her and confronted Josh, and this showed her that she should be with him. I don't know if that was even a confrontation, because Marshall was talking to Brett, and it was actually Josh that confronted Marshall, was like, hey bro, you talking about me? And then Marshall stepped in and was like, well, it depends. So he didn't really confront Josh confronted him. But anyway, on their date, Marshall proposes and Jacquelina says yes, and they're engaged. I feel that Jacquelina is going to regret her choice later on when they bring in, your option B, who you didn't choose. I don't know which episode that's going to be, but they bring in the people that you had a connection with but didn't choose in the end. And I think she's going to have regrets. Kwame and Chelsea have a date, and it's obvious that Kwame loves how much Chelsea loves him. I'm still not so sure about Kwame's feelings towards Chelsea, but he is all about how much Chelsea is into him. So while they're on their date, Kwame busts out his guitar and says that they are going to write a song together. So they start singing together. Oh my goodness, no, please. This could never be me. I don't like this type of thing because you don't even have a song. So now you're strumming the chords of your guitar and you're saying, let's make up a song together. You don't even know if I can sing. Oh my gosh, no. But Chelsea went with the flow, so good for her. And they sing together and they have a song now, and the song is called Real Thing. And I don't know how to describe this song, but there's not much to it except for I'm looking for a real thing. Whatever, you can hear my voice. Nobody could ask me to sing on the spot. Next, Zach and Irina have a date together, and Zach gives Irina Ralph. So Ralph is Zach's, it's a dog. His little stuffed toy that he's had since he was a kid, and he shares his story of how he's had him since he was 3, and this stuffed animal was his only stability because he moved around a lot as a kid because his mom struggled with a lot of things. And he says he's not giving it to her, he just wanted to share with her. And Irina asks if Bliss has met Ralph already, and Zach says yes, and Irina's like, well, I don't feel special anymore, and she wants to go home and that she can't wait for him to decide. She asks what the difference is between Bliss and her. She asks, so what is it that Bliss has that I don't have? So Zach shares his concerns that she's more vicious than he is, and Zach trusts Irina and feels that when he talks to her, he knows how much she loves him for sure. Later on, Zach is talking to Marshall in the men's living quarters, and he says that Irina's immature and plays games to win a man. Zach, you don't know the half of it. You have no idea who Irina is, but this right here, what you just said, is some of it. At least you're getting an idea of who she really is. He says that she tries to create tension and that concerns him. He also says that Bliss doesn't like or trust Irina, but he really trusts Irina on a deep level. I'm shocked. Open your eyes, Zach. Okay, you can't see. Open your ears. He thinks Irina will have his back every step of the way, and I don't know what this guy is smoking. Zach then says that Bliss told him that if he were to choose Irina, that would show her the type of person that he is. And Zach feels like that's a fucked up thing to say. I mean, I really wish that Bliss hadn't made this statement, because if she had just allowed him to make his own decision, then that would have been okay. But showing such strong emotions against Irina, I think that backfired and pushed Zach towards Irina in the end. Even though he's not happy about what Bliss said about Irina, he says that he has an incredibly deep connection with Bliss, and he thinks that if they get married and whenever the chemistry fades, they'll still be really good friends. I mean, Zach, come on, don't do this. Follow your heart. I mean, look how beautiful that is. That's what we're all looking for, and you found it in Bliss. Next, Zach and Bliss have a date, and Bliss shares how her dad doesn't accept people that she dates. Like, he doesn't really like the guys that Bliss has dated so far. And this could be because he's overprotective or because Bliss has been dating assholes. We don't know. And when Bliss said this, it really triggered Zach because of his past. He mentioned how he grew up and he wasn't really accepted by a lot of people because his mom was a stripper and they were really poor. So a lot of the families of the people he dated didn't think he was good enough. So this can be really triggering. Nobody wants to marry into a family and have to struggle for acceptance. Zach says that he sees a happy life for them and that he loves her, but when she talked about Irina, it concerned him that she said what she said, and he feels that she doesn't trust him and his judgment. And he says he needs to sleep on it. And Bliss says simply, she thinks that her and Zach are it. Next up, Jacquelina and Marshall have their big reveal. And these cameramen are funny. Why did they make it look like Marshall was looking up at Jacquelina when they were walking towards each other down the aisle? The angle of Marshall looking at Jacquelina looked like he had to look up at her. But, when they got closer together, the height isn't that much, isn't that big of a deal between them. And they were both very happy with one another. And yeah, they said goodbye. And the outro was a lot. I think they were both quite nervous because Marshall was dancing and it looked like Jacquelina was tired of laughing. Zach and Bliss have a date, and I couldn't handle not knowing what he's gonna say. And yeah, he did it. Everything I feared he was gonna do, he did. He broke up with Bliss. I'm not okay. That's all I can say is I'm not okay. I felt sick. I still feel sick, and I feel like I'm gonna be sick. Bliss had opened the conversation saying she woke up at peace, and I'm glad that she did wake up feeling at peace, because as hard as it is for her to get this to get rejected by Zach, I think that peace that she had will help her through it. And yeah, bro, I can't stand that he chose Irina. I'm just gonna say it. I can't stand it. Bliss is back at the house and Irina is being sneaky as usual, listening on the conversation Bliss is having with Tiffany. See, Zach? See the type of girl you chose? Look! Zach is back at the house and he's crying on the couch. I felt really bad for him, but I could not get over the fact that he was on the couch with his shoes on. And he's lying on the couch, stepping all over it. Take your shoes off. Kwame and Chelsea have a date, and Chelsea is dressed to be proposed to. She woke up this morning and she's like, listen, I'm going to wear my lucky red dress. She looked really good. And, well, the dress worked because Kwame did propose. And, of course, Chelsea said yes. Next, we see Zach, and there he is, ready to propose to Irina. Blah, 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 whatever. He says, he says whatever he says. She says yes. I hated it. Make it stop. After that, we have Kwame and Chelsea's big reveal. And Chelsea ran up to her man. And let me tell you, Chelsea loves her some Kwame. Kwame is it for Chelsea. After they, hugged and all that, and they went to go sit down and have a chat, they were sitting so close to each other, and Chelsea just looks like she wants to rip his clothes off. She looks like she wants a room. And that brings us to the end of episode 3. If you liked this recap, hit the subscribe button and come back for the next video.